Sudevaya Narayana Namaskritya Naram Che Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiri Nashtuprayeshu Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 1, the latter pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya. Text 267 onwards. ब्रह्मांड भीतरे है 14 भुवन 14 भुवने वैसे यत जीवगान. There are 14 planetary systems within the universe, and all living entities reside in those planetary systems. So 14 planetary systems, but one planetary system can have unlimited number of planets. And all living entities reside in those. I don't know why this moon exploration, they did not find any living entity on moon. Well, I guess because our instruments are designed to only look at or look for living entities based on our system on Earth. On moon, there's a different atmosphere. So the bodies over there are designed to live in that atmosphere. So our system, our equipment is not designed to see those bodies. So that's why I guess they cannot see anybody over there. And then next, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, wonderful thing. Manushera Veshadhari Yatri Kera Chela Chale Prabhur Darshan Kare Ashi Nila Chale. So all the living entities, now not all, many of them I would say, dressing like human beings on pilgrimage, they all used to come to Jagannath Puri to visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you imagine? From 14 planetary systems, even the demigods must be coming to visit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to see Jagannath, Lord Jagannath also. And that is why during Rath Yatra festival, the last day when they do this special festival, Adarpanna festival. So that is for, especially for the ghouls and goblins who cannot have the prasadam. So they are given Jagannath prasadam. So next life they don't have to take that. They get human form next life. एक दिन श्रीवासादि यत भक्त गान Mahaprabhu guna gan करे न कीर्तन. One day all the devotees headed by Srivas Thakur were chanting the transcendental qualities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's also a wonderful pastime. We'll come in detail later. Shuni bhakta gane kahe sakrud vachane Krishna nama guna chadi kikara kirtane. Not liking the chanting of his transcendental qualities, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised them as if he were angry. What kind of chanting is this? He asked. Are you leaving aside the chanting of the holy names of the Lord? Odhatya karite haila sabha karmana swatantra haya sabhe nashaive bhuvan. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised all the devotees, telling them not to show impudence and spoil the entire world by becoming independent. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu warned all his followers not to become independent or impudent. Unfortunately, after the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many up-sampradayas, so-called followers, invented many ways not approved by the acharyas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has described them as up-sampradaya, the 13, Aula, Baula, Kartabhaja, Neda, Daravesh, Shani, Sahajiya, Sakhiveki, Smartha, Jata Gosai, Ativadi, Chudadhari, and Gauranga Nagari. The Aula Sampradaya, Baula Sampradaya, and others invented their own ways of understanding Lord Chaitanya's philosophy. without following in the footsteps of the Acharyas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself indicates herein that all such attempts would simply spoil the spirit of his cult. दश दिके कोटि कोटि लोक है न काले जय कृष्ण चैतन्य बलि करे को लहा. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was apparently in an angry mood and chastising his devotees, many thousands of people outside loudly cried in a tumultuous voice, "All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. जय जय महाप्रभु व्रजेंद्र कुमार जगत तारिते प्रभु तुम्हारे अवतार." All the people began to call very loudly, "All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the son of Maharaj Nanda. Now you have appeared in order to deliver the whole world." Bahudur haite aino haya bada artha darshan diya prabhu karha kritartha. "Oh Lord, we are very unhappy. We have come a long distance to see you. Please be merciful and show us your favor." Shunya lokera danya dravila hardaya bahireyashi darshan diladaya maya. When the Lord heard the humble petition made by the people, his heart softened. Being very merciful, he immediately came out and gave audience to all of them. बाहु तुली वाले प्रभु बल हरि हरि उठी लशी हरि ध्वनि चतुर्दिक भारी. Raising his arms, the Lord asked everyone to chant loudly the vibration of the holy name of Lord Hari. There immediately arose a great stir, and the vibration of Hari filled all directions. प्रभु देखी प्रेमे लोक आनंदित मान प्रभु के ईश्वर बलि करे स्तवन. Seeing the Lord, everyone became joyful out of love. Everyone accepted the Lord as the supreme, and thus they offered their prayers. स्तव शुनि प्रभु के कहिन श्रीनिवास घरे गुप्त हाउ केन बाहिरे प्रकाश. While the people were offering their prayers unto the Lord, Shiva's Thakur sarcastically said to the Lord, "At home you wanted to be covered. Why have you exposed yourself outside?" किसी खाइले यही लोके कहे कौन बात यह सबार मुख ढाका दिया निज हाथ. Shiva Thakur continued, "Who has taught these people? What are they saying? Now you can cover their mouths with your own hand." सूर्य यायचे उदय करी चाहे लुकाई ते बुझीते न पारी ताइचे तुम्हारा चरिते. It is as if the sun, after rising, wanted to hide himself. We cannot understand such characteristic in your behavior. So when Mahaprabhu asked Srivas Thakur, "Why are you chanting my name? Why are you not chanting Krishna's name? Why are you changing everything?" So Srivas Thakur, now we have to understand, he is Narad Muni actually. So he came in that mood. So what he started doing, he was doing like this, putting his hand up in the sky like that. Mahaprabhu asked, "I'm asking you a serious question. Why did you stop chanting Krishna's name? Why you're chanting my name?" But Shiva Thakur was still doing like this. Mahaprabhu said, "What are you doing? Why you're not serious?" Shiva Thakur said, "I'm trying to cover the sun with my hands." Mahaprabhu said, "That's not possible. You cannot cover sun with your hands." So Shiva Thakur said the same thing. "You're telling us not to glorify you, but you're like sun. We cannot cover you. Your glories are everywhere. Everybody knows your glories. Your mercy is everywhere. Cannot cover it." So then Mahaprabhu came out of his house at Kashishwara's house, and then he met everybody, and everybody started chanting Gaura Hari's name. प्रभु कहें श्रीनिवास छाड़ा विडम्बना सबे मिली कर मोर कतेक लांछन. The Lord replied, "My dear Srinivas, please stop joking. You have all combined together to humiliate me in this way. एत बलि लोक करी शुभ दृष्टि दान अभ्यंतरे केला लोकेर पूर्ण है काम." Thus speaking, the Lord entered his room after glancing auspiciously upon the people out of charity. In this way, the desires of the people were completely fulfilled. रघुनाथ दास नित्य आनंद पाश गेला चीड़ दही महोत्सव ताहि करीला. At this time, Raghunath Das approached Nityanand Prabhu and, according to his order, prepared a feast and distributed prasadam composed of chipped rice and yogurt. So that again, it's a wonderful pastime and very beautiful festival. It happens 1 day or 2 days after Nirjala Ekadashi. There is a special preparation in Bengal wherein chipped rice is mixed with yogurt and sometimes with sandesh and mango. It is a very palatable food offered to the deity and then distributed to the public. Raghunath Das Goswami, who was a householder at this time, met Nityanand Prabhu. According to his advice, he executed this festival of Dadi Chida Prashad. तारा आज्ञा लाया गेला प्रभु चरणे प्रभु तारे समर्पिला स्वरूपे स्थान. Later, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami left home and took shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. At that time, the Lord received him and placed him under the care of Swarup Damodar for spiritual enlightenment. In this regard, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami writes in Vilab Kusumanjali, Yo mam dustar geha nirjala mahakupad apar klama sadya sandra dayamudhi prakritita swari kripa rajubhi udhriyatma sarojanindi charana prantam prapadya swayam Shri Damodara Satchakaratam Aham Chaitanya Chandram Bhaje. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who by his unreserved mercy kindly saved me from household life, which is exactly like a blind well without water, and placed me in the ocean of transcendental joy under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami. Brahmananda Bharatira Guchaila Charna Charmambara Eimata Lila Kaila Chaya Vatsara. Later, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped Brahmanand Bharati's habit of wearing deer skin. The Lord thus enjoyed his pastimes continuously for 6 years, experiencing varieties of transcendental bliss. Eita kahila madhya lila sutragana shesha dwadasha vatsarera shuna vivrana. I have thus given a synopsis of the Madhya Lila. Now please hear the pastimes of the Lord performed. Blessed pastimes the Lord performed during the last 12 years. Thus Srila Kaviraj Goswami, strictly following in the footsteps of Shri Vyasadeva, gives a synopsis of the Leelas of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He has given such a description at the end of each canto. In the Adi Leela, he outlined the pastimes of the Lord in 5 stages of boyhood, leaving the details of the description to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Now in this chapter, the pastimes that took place at the end of the Lord's life are summarized. These are described in Madhya Lila and Antya Lila. The rest of the pastimes has been described in a synopsis in the 2nd chapter of the Madhya Lila. In this way, the author gradually described both the Madhya Lila and Antya Lila. Shri Rupa Raghunath Vade Jara Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 1st chapter, summarizing the later pastimes of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we can start the next chapter, chapter 2. This is the summary of Antya Lila pastimes, last 12 years. The entitled Ecstatic Manifestations of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the second chapter of the Madhya Lila, the author describes the pastimes the Lord performed during the last 12 years of his life. Thus, he has also described some of the pastimes of the Antya Lila. Why he has done so is very difficult for an ordinary person to understand. The author expects that reading the pastimes of the Lord will gradually help a person awaken his dormant love of Krishna. Actually, this Chaitanya Charitamrita was compiled by the author during very old age. Fearing he might not be able to finish the book, he has included a synopsis of the Antya Lila here in the second chapter. Srila Kaviraj Goswami has confirmed that the opinion of Sarup Damodar is authoritative in the matter of devotional service. Over and above this are the notes of Sarup Damodar, memorized by Raghunath Das Goswami, who also helped in the compilation of Chaitanya Charitamrita. After the disappearance of Sarup Damodar Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami went to Vrindavan. At that time, the author, Srila Kaviraj Goswami, met Raghunath Das Goswami, by whose mercy he also could memorize all the notes. In this way, the author was able to complete this transcendental literature, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So these are the synopsis of pastimes of Antya Lila. Now that is the topmost for the innermost reasons of Mahaprabhu's appearance. And since these pastimes are so esoteric and very, very confidential, not everybody can understand. The transformations or the ecstasy Mahaprabhu was experiencing in Jagannath Puri. So first, in Jagannath Puri, he stayed for 24 years. So first 6 years, he traveled all over South India, Vrindavan, Navadvip. And then next 6 years, he stayed in Vrindavan throughout, but next 6 years, all the devotees would come for Rath Yatra, he would meet them, and there were so many pastimes. And then last 12 years, he would only remain in Gambhira. That's a very small room where he was staying. And it's just amazing the pastimes he exhibited, he manifested over there. Vichede asmin prabhorantya lila sutranuvarnane gorasya Krishna vicheda prala padi anuvarnate. While relating in synopsis from the last division of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this chapter, I shall describe the Lord's transcendental ecstasy, which appears like madness due to his separation from Krishna. In this second chapter, the activities of Lord Chaitanya that took place after the Lord accepted sannyas are generally described. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is specifically mentioned here as being Gaura, or a fair or golden complexion. Krishna is generally known to be blackish, but when he is absorbed in the thought of the gopis, who are all of fair complexion, Krishna himself also becomes fair. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in particular felt separation from Krishna very deeply, exactly like a lover who is dejected in separation from the beloved. Such feelings, which were expressed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for nearly 12 years at the end of his pastimes, are described in brief in this second chapter of Madhya Lila. So there is, when we do Vrindavan Parikrama, there is a temple. It's called Imlitala temple. It's close to Keshighat. So at that Imlitala, there is a very, very exquisite, beautiful form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not deity. Deities are inside. He is just, this form is prepared by some devotee, and he is kept under this this Imli tree. So what had happened at that place, Radha and Krishna, 5,000 years ago, they decided to meet over there. So Krishna came to that place earlier than Radharani did. So Krishna sat down under this Imli tree in the thoughts, and then he was only thinking of Srimati Radharani. And he was chanting Radhe, 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 Radhe. Now the name of Radhe is non-different from Radharani. Thoughts of Radharani are non-different from Radharani. So when he was chanting this name, Radhe, Radhe, and thinking of Radharani, he was so much absorbed that his blackish color, he took the color of Radharani, became golden. Because name and the mood and the color, they're non-different. So when Radharani arrived there with the gopis, she saw this beautiful personality, but she said, it looks like Krishna, but he's golden color. Who is he? And he's sitting absorbed and chanting Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. So but then she was so attracted to that form. She said, you have to. Then later on, of course, she realized it's Krishna himself. She said, you have to come in that form. It's so beautiful. And actually, it is said that was the first step, that when Krishna appeared, he agreed to appear as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, and that Imlitala, that tree is still there. Well, it's not the original tree, but it came from the roots of the same original tree, the tree that we have right now. And it is also considered a desire tree. Of course, every tree in Vrindavan, Braj, is a desire tree. And actually, what had happened once we went to do parikrama of Vrindavan, for a Vrindavan visit, and we were doing parikrama. We did katha over there, kirtan over there, and somebody told that this is a desire tree. And actually, it was that day. It was very hot, and we had gone in summertime, not Kartik time. It was very, very hot. And we were doing parikrama, and we were, I think, one or two bus full of devotees. And Gopal was with us. And when he heard it is a desire tree, he said, please let it rain, let it cool down a little. It is so hot. We cannot walk properly, and we cannot enjoy. And it did happen. There were no clouds in the sky, nothing. And we went little further, and it started raining. Cats and dogs, what they say. We could not walk in that much rain was there. We had to stop. We had to take shelter of under a tree or in the temple, and we had to wait for a while. So it's really a desire tree. But that deity under that Tamal tree, Imli tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's facing towards Yamuna. It's very, very beautiful. So Krishna was in separation from Radharani, absorbed in the thoughts of Radharani, only thinking of Radharani, chanting the names of Radharani, and he took the form of Radharani and the complexion of Radharani. And that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare